Alright, take two. How we doing, everyone? Now that the thing is actually doing the thing, and you can actually see and not see you can see the game and not the no signal screen. How we doing? Hello. It's been a while. It's been like 5 million years since we were last here. So the reason that happened is I pulled everything apart to do a good, decent, solid clean. Like I pulled all the cables out. Um, and de-dusted everything behind the PCs. It was pretty dirty back there. And so, as a result, everything was unplugged and it made a bit of a mess. On top of that, I also finally retired the old PC. That poor little i3. It was an i3 4350, I think it was. It was a 4th gen quad core i3, which isn't bad for the time it came in. It was clearance as well. It was like $70 clearance on sale. Spent no money on that thing. So yeah, it was finally reaching the end of its life. And it was getting really noisy. Half the time it wouldn't boot anymore. So yeah, that's gone. As a result, all the bot chatbot thing had to be migrated and everything else. And so it seems to be working. It also turned out that the sound effects are all stored with absolute paths, which is really, really annoying. So it was linking to a path that didn't exist anymore, so I had to change all of them manually, which is mildly inconvenient. But it seems to be working so far. That must have been fun. Yeah, it took like 10 minutes. Go through each one by one. Admittedly, I probably could. It was one of those things where it was either Yeah, that's the thing. That was actually what I was going to say. Is that why not make the script? Well, I was going. In theory, if I could find the config file, I could probably change them. Just copy paste over the old path with the new path. But yes, as a result, it's that sunk cost thing where it's quicker just to do it manually than it is to spend 10 hours to do it. Save 9 minutes on a 10-minute job. Wardy, hello. No, see what's up? The sky is, which leads us into two new mods that are installed since last time, which was 5 trillion years ago. The first one, as recommended in the VOD comments. So see how this Spidertron here is quite upset trying to insert all this junk in its trunk? So there's this little mod where you highlight a decon planet and all these appear. And there's this button here, auto trash all unrequested items. Bam. So now, everything that isn't set as a request is now set to trash. That is amazing. That was... I'm going to do that to all of them as well. The name of the the mod is escaping me in a minute. It's that mod, yes. Uh, uh, a personal logistics template, that's the one. So yeah, on top of that, you can also blueprint what's in the logistics. So we take a new blueprint, and then this button to export appears. And so what we can press that, and now we have a blueprint of its logistics. It's actually interesting how it saves it. Effectively saves them in constant combinators, just like that. Very nice. That's a duck. That is indeed a duck with 27,000 rails in it. That's Veldak's rail ducky. So yeah, that means we can blueprint, copy and paste the thingies between thingies. It's very technical, I realise. Can I? I can. For some reason I wasn't sure if I could actually do that. Yeah, now I can paste this over all of the Spidertrons, and it will now automatically trash everything that they're not supposed to hold on to, which is amazeballs. Second one, if you didn't see the thing already, is a rather interesting little mod called Dad Jokes. So if you put your left shoe on the wrong foot, it's on the right foot. Is your refrigerator running? Better go catch it. And to completely overwhelm you, you know, if you're not rolling across the floor with those, just to really put you on the floor. Knock knock. Who's there? Tank? Tank who? You're welcome. You're like, what is that joke? I highly recommend that someone recommends this mod to Damsel. Because I hear she's really into dad jokes. You ask Google often to tell you a pun. Told you the same one 5 times yesterday. Google must have thought very highly of that pun. Very, very highly. Another thing that I thought of as well is I now have, you know, it's relatively close to a trash slot. And I have these big robot... Dinner's just slowly bubbling up again. The gases of dinner's just bubbling up. But anyway, yeah, we've got these giant roboports that are covering giant areas, and they have this deconstruction planner that can be painted over here, which means that's a lot of fish. Good mark for decon fish on a significant industrial scale, right? You know, we can just keep pushing these further and further out, and get even more fish into the fish counter. That should keep the bots busy for a little while. Yeah, I mean, when you got 11 trillion robot requests, they tend to be a little sluggish. Now, between last time, speaking of robot requests, between last time and this time, these things have been building in the background. First one is, I don't actually remember if it was complete at the end of last time, but it's complete now either way. This one is nearly complete. It's got a few loaders left to go there. I believe the other side is done. And this one's slowly getting done as well. And our fourth one here, I just zoomed out just to make sure it was actually the fourth, is slowly growing as well. Slowly getting built. I think missing roboports further down, which is stopping it growing further. I'm sort of doing that on purpose just so it doesn't build too much of itself. Yeah, there you go. Ready for the fifth one, which should be oil. Expectation is it would be oil. Now, what else has been happening? Oh yeah, this thing's just been completely eviscerated. this patch got absolutely demolished. Iron, wasn't it? Yeah, iron. Yeah, this iron patch has just been obliterated. This iron patch has shrunk to the point where I can put the track back. What else? Massive amount of progress since the last time. Admittedly, a lot of it was done offline. So this is the stuff that I did offline. This thing's been happily chugging away. Well, no, fine. I don't remember if I added this the last time or not, but yeah, it's got a sort of a balanced unloader thing going on. That's fine. Job. The the nuclear power's been doing their thing. These have been happily chugging away for quite a while. Quite happy with this build. Need to tweak this a little bit, just a little too close to the edge. I sort of want to have it as like you know, walled off or isolated in some way. Yeah, Purdy lights. The rotate, yeah. Pretty sure those were there last time. I do want to do something fancy with it. Maybe measure the amount of power flowing and change the speed at which they run or something. Not entirely sure. Are you? No. You'll get there eventually. Oh yeah, I've been slowly expanding this. I really, really want to build this. You know, get rid of the original one, build the Factorio one, and just start deleting the rest of this base. This base is very much I, I want to say it's outstripped its usefulness, but it actually hasn't, because it needs all this crap up here to be working before it will actually turn on. So it is still needed for now. Delete more of this. And this. Not that. Go delete that. And a little bit of that. Can you go? So I better get rid of those. Not that it'll really matter, for the most part, but it's a good idea nonetheless. And the bots will figure it out eventually. See, they're on top of it now. Hello, train. Yeah, if on the off chance that the train here takes too long to bugger off, oh, you're right, whatever. It's a teamwork makes the dream work. It's you know, don't all these bots here don't all have to rush to demolish itself. You know, the power plant and the coal outpost can all get on the action. Now it's a spinning icon of death. It's like the oh, we just missed a dad joke. Talk is cheap until you talk to a lawyer. Ha ha ha. I'm gonna have to really pay attention to catch those. Moving swiftly along. Do a little bit of busy work. How are we doing with these fishies? Slowly plucking them out of the water. Excuse me, sir. Sir. Better. Nothing in the way. How's our pollution? I believe there is actually biters. Real honest biters. Oh. I believe there is biters actually out there. So I'll just nom on the trees while the ad break rolls. And then L investigate. Bots want to get in on the action. For people who don't have a sub, it's an ad break. Well, it was an ad break. We're just doing some busy work while that's rolled through. It should be done by now. I haven't set up to do fairly regular... Oh, that's nice. Killing them. That's potentially bad, actually, come to think of it. Yeah, that's potentially very bad. I have to summon the A-team. Do something about this. Terminate with extreme prejudice. There they are. Faster. Work those little leggies. Conceivably, I could probably nuke them with that. Vibrating. Eats the far end. That'd be a job for... Potentially it would be. It requires the effort of actually sending delivery train up here. Let's get you lot too close. Yeah, I just want to get up there personal. Stationary single one. Yeah, I don't think I actually have any stationary guns crafted. Unless, oh, the recipe probably has been changed so that it includes them. Oh. Oh, it was spittle on the floor, that's why. Right, binary dues. Apparently it did some damage down here. Some poison. No kill like overkill. Is actually the biter poison. Yeah, the biter and anti-biter virus capsule. And it should just eliminate them somewhat slowly over time. Thankfully it doesn't murderate the fishies. Otherwise I would be quite set. Right. Oh, he's dead. Deaded from the last time I went round. Presumably all of this slot is... yeah, they're all exterminated. Not so much. That works. Having to deal with Atlassian rate limiting is fun. I don't know if fun's the right word when it comes to rate limiting. Thought that would be more irritating. Didn't they used to be cool? Because I remember everyone was all about the source tree. And then didn't they go all crazy locking everything down behind you know, as you say, the access rates and things. Spun. What's this doing here? My findings for batch request base was 16 minutes to run 500 uses. Batching 5 took 70 minutes. Batching 2 caused an error, and batching 3 took 6 minutes. Sting? I was going to say, so that's batching the requests into bigger single requests. Oh, okay, it's 5 at a time. Yeah, and so on. Yeah, makes sense. And there's the skull drumming that we know and love. batching in state of... That is odd. I didn't quite tweaked at that, but yeah. Make it divide by 0 or something. Something wrong with the way it was requested. Out of bounds. I mean, it sort of suggests that that's a code problem. Why am I fishing? Because I'm gonna get you, little fishy. So many fish to be gotted. It's it's a long-standing tradition is to grab all of the fish on the map and fill buffer chests full of them on 2 values. Weird bit of land reminds you of Auckland. Isn't Auckland just a weird bit of land? So yeah, the fish go into these buffer chests, and it slowly fills as the quantity of fish increases in the story in the network. It makes this fish light up. I think it needs like 10 million fish to completely light up. It needs a lot of fish. Been doing it since the original Factorio extended base, I think. No, never got a whole fish. I think this is actually the most that have got out of a single map. Outside it, maybe the 36k base was similar. I have to look. Had like 200 gotten in here now. Now I gotta find it. One with the most cells, really. 112k. Yeah, I think it's got 100k in the 36k base. Try C block? I don't wanna. I don't hate myself enough to try C block or Pyrannodons. I like the World of Warcraft of Factorio. Okay, let's go do something useful. I'm just procrastinating. So yeah, we need to fill that in to get the. Oh yeah, and there's a little bit of track there to measure things out. So yeah, I need to get the oil into here. I was also thinking about this thing. It is potentially going to change. Depends on what the rail traffic is like. I have an idea of having it run across the top and the bottom. I can't remember if I explained this already. I think I have like 3 different plans to change again. Yeah. Alright. So we need to switch back to the other world. Isn't the end goal of C block, at least from what I remember, is the not the end goal, but the end result is that you have an entire base running off water. So yeah. This is for those who haven't seen, this is the prototype of everything in one form or another. There's the mystery final one with science in it. The one I'm interested in is oil, which is over here. Ew. Space exploration. I've been avoiding space exploration for the same reason. Kinda eh. I don't remember what all the numbers were for this. I should have written them down. Alright. That's gonna make things trickier. Oh, it's not heavy to light. Heavy to light. There's lubricant. Ooh, combine everything into one. That's right. So the reason I'm looking at this is, Colonel Will did mention that the style of base, like what the bases that he was working on, he actually exceeded what was possible. And I was also thinking about how I've done the oil, and it is a lot of trains, and it does like there's a lot of trains that just move around for the sake of moving around. And I was thinking, how can I merge them down? Um, notice that. Oh, that's right. The one thing that isn't working right is the chatbot window doesn't refresh. Like it doesn't update the console since reinstalling or since migrating. I don't know why. But yeah, I mean, thinking about how to combine them, combine the oil production. And it turns out somebody already solved it for me. So, this monstrosity here of refineries does just that. So, where is it? There's refineries. Makes lubricant on the top. So it outputs, so it takes crude oil in. It actually takes crude oil and water on the same unload. Crude oil in. I don't know if I can do that though. See, probably can't. Yeah, crude oil in. Lubricant is made on the spot, and then it's pushed up. Gas output. Okay. I hadn't actually really looked at this closely. Sort of did that on purpose because I didn't want to taint my thinking. That actually makes sense. I mean, this isn't going to work for me anyway. Like, I can't one-to-one copy this for me anyway. Oh no, that's a refinery. That's the refinery. There's a headache going on now. Oh boy. um, yeah, this thing is headache inducing. Okay, so you're gas at the bottom. Why do M&Ms go to school? Because they want to be a smarty. Jokes aside, they are basically the same chocolate. Like they're literally the same. It's just one has an M and the other has an S on it. And they wish they were Skittles, but they're not. Also, Skittles are the best. Also, let me know, which do you prefer? M&M's, Smarties, or Skittles? Rank them. Let's see your ranking. One just tastes nicer, and then there's Skittles. So yeah. Smarties because you're smart. SMRT. You are what you eat. I see what you did there. Okay, so it's oil in. That actually makes a lot of sense. Skittles every day. Damn right. Crunchy M&M, Skittles, M&M, Smarties. What about peanut M&Ms? Now that you're introducing varieties of M&Ms, what about peanut M&Ms? And now that I think about it, it makes sense. I think there's another one at the bottom too. No? Yeah, the point of this completely derailed exercise was, what was that? Well, it got deletificated. Nightbot really didn't like. What was the Oh, symbols. Yeah, too many. That takes effort because I have that set really high. Hey, Tarask. Why isn't your Megabase on a hex grid? My Megabase isn't on a hex grid. Ika's Megabase needs to be on a hex grid, not mine. Yeah, that was a conversation on the weekend. Was that Ika has been playing Pyrannodons and he wanted a square grid city block, and I was like, hey, you should make him out of hexagons instead. Hexagons are the bestagons. And so now he's building a hexagon base. Um, yeah, going back to the point at hand. So this monolithic block produces all of the output in one go. And that's what I want to... Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, K2 reintroduced stupid green. A monster. It does look good, though. I mean, it is terrible, but it does look good. 75... I think it's like 50. At least it is... Think of it this way. At least it isn't triangles. But I do know of someone who has already done a triangle base. So there is compelling argument to not do a triangle base. Alright, so... Oh... What's dust? Rio Labs tell me. It wishes to render. Boy, does it ever want to render. It's killing the computer. 40% CPU usage. It's a lot of CPU usage. Memory usage during this. Main gripe is, yeah, there isn't shape. It's sadly lack of common sense in players. What about dodecahedron? To join and fix things. See, the problem with me joining and fixing things is it would mean I would have to play Pyrannodons. And we don't want to do that now, do we? I was actually, I don't know if you were here when I said it, but I was saying that Pyrannodons is like the WoW of Factorio. Out the way. Don't hate myself that much? No. I suppose a lack of social life, like a WoW player thing. At A? Yeah, and I got all this crap to build too. And then I got to look at the, at some point I need to look at the 36k base. Apparently there was a comment on that base recently. So now I've got to revisit that. I mean, I say now I got to. I have actually already looked. The answer is it needs 2 million something copper a minute, and it's only getting 600k. It needs a lot more outposts than what it's getting. What it's got. Just short a small amount. Yeah, just a tiny bit. I think it's actually 1.6 million, but 2 million for good measure. I also want to change how I set up the outposts on that. Again. Because previously, at some point, I decided that it needed to be changed to... Or apparently, at some point, I decided it needed to be changed to a central smelter, because that base actually uses on-site smelting. Noises, Eldax, C for cats. Did you know C is for cat? So C for cats here. How you doing, C? Welcome, everyone. Doing Total War Warhammer 2. How'd that go? Did it go well? Go poorly. Also, Veldax here. Hello. C indeed is for cat. Yeah, see what you did. I mean, you had to tell me what you did there at one point in time, but I still see. Still see the C for cat. And boop. I don't know there. Purely, purely arbitrary. What men beat up your rats? Not the rats. Were they like oblivion rats or something? Those things are dangerous. Oh yeah, that's right. The goblins in Oblivion. Those were terrible. Okie day.
Mahahaha,
Roblox.
I'm back for another month, chaos.
You're back for another month. Welcome back. Long time no see. It's only been like 12 million months since. I think it was about the 6th when I was last on anyway. On this. Even the YouTube VOD squad's been a little dry on VODs. Thank you very much for that. 7 months up. Really appreciate that. While I slowly grind my brain to wall, trying to do this thingamajob. Spellmaster 1, Matt. How did that happen? So that's divided down into 8. How many binaries does it say I need to load? Probably not. 102 apparently. I need to power through 1.34 million oil a minute. It appears to be 1.34 million oil a minute is what I need. How much does this do? Good question. I need to refresh my mind. This actually does. Types, please. Huh? Yeah. Purge. Not? Oh. Here I was trying to do things and then ruin it for me. Types in the way. Damn you past me. Alright, what do we got? So we're consuming 106 a minute. It's unfortunate you don't get a faster oil refinery, this thing. Okay. So I need like 9 more like this. A backwards one job. Alright, let's pick you up. 4. There. Should be the middle. Yeah, because I'm effectively taking 2 and combining them. The limited space, because of these beacons, I'm going to need to do bit of work. Work, for lack of a better term. Why do bees have sticky hair? Because they use a honeycomb. A plus. Squat lurk. Makes the lurk even better. It does something alright. Together. Can I even get them together? Find the proper... Oh, it's only 2 tiles, that's why. Possibly. Assume it is. It should be. Alright, let's slide you over one. That's almost in the center. Now I've got to do a whole lot of thunking. Oh, because... Ideally, these would be rotated sideways. But, we cannot have nice things here, apparently. Stopping. Deconstruct this. Rotate it a little bit. I do need... You need to be there. Like that. I mean, technically doesn't need to. Technically. Oh, for some reason. Yeah, you can do something like that. Okay, it doesn't have to do it, but I'm going to make stagger these. Um, fine. In lead soon, gotta get to work. I'm already. Matter. I will try and get these up or into the world of VODs fairly quickly. Put the process down. And saying that, I'm also been trying to do the other game that I was playing to VOD land. Might have been having too much fun processing them. I've been turning into more of a cut down video experiment. Hopefully it's palatable. Something that's watchable. But no. Yes. Potentially, I could bank these together, bonk these together even. Bank and or bonk. Ooh, that one could actually slam together like slow, 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 slow. That. make that one closer. I mean, potentially it could actually go there and then that goes there. Saving a tile just by doing the underground. And then these can butt up together. Butter up together even? Point where they actually collide with each other. What does that do for me? Yep. Okay, so that's the more point. Can I improve on this then? Maybe. If I bring that down, pop that there. That doesn't save anything. Does do that. Means in turn I can rotate it. Pop. And flop. Excellent. Something that vaguely resembles progress. There we go. Pop. And I guess blop. I mean, that is 9. Direct insertion where possible. Headaches. Yeah, direct insertion very much is headache city. Air used to be free at the gas station. Now it's $1.50. You know why? Inflation. No ha-has on that one. Land. Yeah, we got to. Still think Damsel would really enjoy the. That was bad. it was a stinker. let's not pretend. I can't even keep a straight face saying that is awful. Or facepalm. It's it's something. Definitely something. Biased way too far that way. I think. I think. To cut that out. That there. Try again. Except this time. That away. That. A lot of things are great, but there are some recipes with random and I don't know yet how to deal with them. Yep. Is it in space exploration? It's so old it deflated already. Yeah, I have a good one, Maru. Leaving on that high note. That deflated high note. Have a good day. Oh yeah, SE. Of course it is. Did I actually flip this? Like I didn't actually flip it the way I intended to flip it. It was meant to... Yeah, it was meant to do that. Blame the pun on that. That's what I was meant to do. Threw me off balance. Such an overwhelming pun. Is there a mod that randomizes recipe? There is a recipe randomizer mod. I often played it a long time ago. I was going to say a little while ago, but I think it was actually a long time ago. Pretty funny. And now it's out here. That's more like it. More water. I was about to. I was at that moment. I was like, did I get that right? Yes, yes, I did. Did I get that one right? Oh no. That now. Both. Both. There we go. That one right either. Sarvical. The one that makes all 5 million times more expensive. I mean, that could just be regular expensive. Plain old expensive recipes. They will be going. Not because I didn't plug it in right. Still not right. Can't bulk delete. Oop. Now you're all going. This should be back to 150-ish. I think it's slightly slower now because it's lost a bit of crafting speed. I retain any. Probably not. But it's a workable build. Actually, what am I using in it? So, 600,000 a minute. That is what, 200. This thing holds 100,000, wasn't it? Or was it 400,000? 5K, 200K. Okay. So, thousand eight. So using half of the storage available is 800,000 per minute. But realistically, I shouldn't exceed 800,000 a minute. Even 600,000 a minute is probably pushing it. Probably pushing it. What is that for? Actually, hang on. 118. The 1.4 wasn't it? Was the input 1.34. 1.4 million divided by 620 is 2.2 of these builds. So if I glue another one on, I hope I'm not. I do worry that I'm going to push it too hard. 700,000. Nearly 800,000. There's a lot. Asking a lot out of the oil storage. I suppose alternatively I could break it up into 16s again. Or I could do multiple bill unloads. Both would work. Just worried about overdoing it. Wouldn't buy anything with Velcro. It's a total rip-off. I feel like we're just scraping the bottom of the jar of Vegemite at the minute. Because yeah, to use nearly 800,000 a minute is brain 100,000 a minute coming out of each of these tanks. How much does a train carry actually? Let me, because they are merged. What do you carry? 400,000. So it's using a quarter of a train a minute. So it's one train. Okay, not that bad. Not a complete travesty. We're only using one train. Might still double buffer the tanks though. Like that. Exactly. Exactly, Darthy, exactly. The problem here though is, can I point it up? And also got this overlap issue here. Suppose it can curve back round. End of the world. Just make sure this has a decent amount of storage. What does it store? Stores. Yeah, even though I'm using one quarter of a train a minute, I am. Oh, actually, what? I say it was. It was 400. Yeah. Oh, that's where I got the 400,000 from. But each one's only 25K. Oh yeah, it's 8 unloads. still only minutes worth. Saying that, no, it. No. I was just gonna say, what am I doing? It's over 400 It's a lot more than a train a minute. I got a little ass backwards. It's I need one train coming in every, yes, lots. One train every 30 seconds, effectively. That's where I'm going wrong. Just didn't sound right in my head. Like that is still. It's a train every 40 seconds something, and that is a train just over a train, just under a train a minute. No. I have them together. That is the question. How hard is it to expand 16? First question that I need to answer. Very. That's not that bad. It's not that bad. But it means this is change. It's gonna be a wide boy, this one. Doesn't really change much though. It does ease the pressure on the individual. Does it? No. I think the um I think the merging the 16 into the pairs down to 8 is the way to go. Like, I think the answer might be multiple unloads. 100. I'm not 100% sure how to parallel all this up. 300. But down to that though. Like, it's still a significant amount of crude oil consumption. Unfortunate there isn't an advanced oil refinery. That would be really nice. The other alternative was the big fluid wagon, which holds 75k. This thing. I was to make use of it. Place the regular oil trains here. This has 3 times the capacity. In effect has 1.2 million. Hello, how you doing? Do I go the route of using the big fluid wagons? Sort of trying not to. What is the argument for and against it? I suppose what it comes down to it, to justify it, is that the stack size of the items is significantly increased. Effectively giving you a bigger cargo wagon. Finally caught up on your primes? No. I've sort of given up trying at this point. Yeah, because these are significantly increasing capacity. It's 128k instead of 8k or whatever, 16k. So that's the argument for using the big fluid wagons, which in turn means that gives us. What does that give us? Just room for activities, increasing the number of these. Yeah, 600,000 a minute is one oil train every 2 minutes. So that should be about one train every 2 minutes worth. Still kind of thinking that doubling up on the fluid tanks is definitely a good idea, though. I mean, it still holds individually. They still hold 200k, and this is 75k. That increases it to 400k. What was that? 8. Unless I do just. Ah, that's right. Forgot about that part. Yeah, it's better to dump like that. Like that. Just breaking up the build instead of having a monolithic block, is split some space down the middle. Go in reverse direction. Afraid of the calendar. Days are numbered. Let's go with. Gotta be done. Also do some uppy downy stuff too. Trouble is, it's sneaky snakes going on. I'm not so keen on that. I have to think about it, I think. What's the time? What prime are we up to, actually, also? The cloud? Has there been a new release? Just Baruch. It was Baruch Prime, wasn't it? Like, it goes down, it just. Bloop, bloop. This goes a long way. So that gives us 600. I think it still falls short though. It's what did I say? It was 1.3. Yeah, 1.34 million oil per minute. Gas from. Heavy to light. Light to gas. Okay, so it's not doing stupidio things. It's it directly and also what? Oh, things changed again. Into me. So coke liquefaction should be excluded. Coal liquefaction should be excluded. Electrolyzing should be excluded. Water from that should be excluded. Water from the atmospheric condenser should be excluded. There is some potential for shenanigans doing it that way, though. Say now. Okay, now it says it. I mean, it doesn't affect any numbers in the scheme of things. I think, pretty sure I have a surplus of hydrogen. I kind of just want to make this one big giant block. Just to see what happens. Alright. Is pretty tempting. What would that involve? I need to load balance. Yeah, I need to load balance the inputs. Sounds like an interesting challenge. I mean, it still sounds like the makings of a terrible idea, but it's like an interesting challenge, nonetheless. Pop that there. You. That temporarily. Alright. A whole lot more of this crap. In 3. So... This is going to give me a headache. Restart a new pie map? Oh boy, indeed. So what I want is to modulate what goes in. Like, and load balance. I can still stagger these as well. Even better is I can, if I'm going to do it this way, I might as well just commit these 3 just to oil and the other 3 just to water. Make life just a little bit simpler. That was all one type. Yeah, that's what I'm envisioning. And what we do is look at these pumps, looks at the contents of each related tank, and then do an averaging thing to push into this tank. Sort of starting to depart from the original idea of having each lane separate, but I'm sort of, I don't know. I mean, as fun as it is, it's nice. That's my excuse at least. The other thing I can there and shift these over potentially by quite a lot too. Potentially, I don't know if it'll actually work. Like that. Yep, that lines up. Yeah, we offset them slightly. Yeah. Yep, that's right. Then up all this crap. Wow, that's a long way away. Yep. Yep. Track. No, you don't. um. Dave. Reached it there. Okay. That's problematic. Yes, lining them up there isn't the dream. That's fine. Why does zero? What did the zero say to the 8? That belt looks good on you. I see. Cut. Not like that pun. Pun, that's a dad joke. Having much energy problems because latest mod somehow removed coal gas based power plants. Relied on those in past playthroughs. They feel it was too easy or something. Right, let's try this again. Great rail in the way. Again. Bop. How it's still sagged like that. It'll be mirrored. I guess because it's offset in the same direction. I guess. It is because it's offset. Like, you can't push this further back. It still has to be offset by the same amount. New mod is alternate energy, so probably... yeah. That makes sense. Alright, so pull back through 3, and apparently I've placed all of this with tanks. take this up for later ends, I guess. So what is this now? This is 1.2, 2.4, 3.6 per minute. What's my 1.3. 1. Since what? 2.5. Yeah. I guess the only real limitation to this is pipe throughput. Only thing to be worried about. Hopefully it works. Problem if it doesn't. Eased if it actually, yeah. I know. I mean, it is artificially being pumped up. Doing 800,000 a minute. Expect some pumps would help it along nicely. I don't know if I can actually place pumps in. It does save pipe time. Yeah. It's not helping that away. Water ain't so bad, but yeah, oil, so much. Because, water only needs half as much. I suppose the fix for that is to switch, delete all that. It's over. Now we've got water. I was about to do exact same thing again. Hang on. Water down the bottom there. Will think. No. Get there in the end. Oh. Balls. Huh. Interesting. Don't actually have things in the way. Ah, she. It's annoying. Yeah, that gets in the way of the other. The oil pipe gets. The water pipe gets in the way of the oil pipe. Yeah, there's not enough room to actually swing that round the other way. Outside. Hmm. Irritating. Definitely. I mean, I think I am, at the end of the day, hitting fluid rate limits. I may be just trying to do the impossible by having a brick that's this big. It was a nice idea, though. I'd like it to work. So that's... Oh. Doesn't even need that row. But yeah, it needs the vertical but not the horizontal. Yeah, that's annoying. So hoping for a nice giant oversized brick. It needs pumps. Push up. Not the worst. Um, Potentially I could leave the pumps in there. Nah. Because technically it is saving a fluid tile, but it's there's so many other ways to save game performance that like that's such an irrelevant optimization. 800,000. Back in the day, my grandfather started to say you could walk into the grocery store with $2 in your pocket and walk out with a loaf of bread, a dozen eggs, and a bit of butter as well. But today, he continued, wherever you go, there are cameras. I feel like that's a little too long. Ha ha ha, shoplifting. In case you didn't get it. Down to 600. We want that one. This limits it, brings it down into a nice even two builds, because this 7... Well, actually evens out nicely. Yeah, the 770, whatever the hell it is, means two builds gets us just over the 1400 need, even though it's 134,000. Actually, what is that? 1, 3. Uh, 70. 6, 4. Yeah, that's right. It's just slightly under, so I need the throw just to bring it under control. I think times have actually changed the opposite. At least for US stores, just walking out the store, not even running. Employees just telling customers, let them go. That is, yeah, I've been hearing about that in San Francisco, I believe. They don't pursue petty crimes anymore. There's a bunch of conspiracy theories behind that. It's sort of like this roundabout way of pushing. There was a theory that it was like pushing the lower class out of the area. Real strange. Oh, that's right, they don't fit. Gotta love a good crackpot theory. The more sane explanation is that it's just so burdened with legalities of it that it's just too hard to deal with. So this is consuming just shy of 800,000 a minute. I think it was also the cost of dealing with petty crimes and all that on the police side. Like it's no longer worth the effort. Too late and I can't be bothered thinking about it. District attorney thinks there are too many people in prison, so they're pursuing less and less crime overall. There you go. As I say, I'm not well informed on the topic, and I don't really want to get too burdened talking about it on here. Probably the most accurate way to put it. Some stores hold employees accountable for lost goods. That would suck. I guess it depends on what the courts are like. Like if you're allowed, if you have a legal grounds for beating up shoplifters, then it's all good. But if there isn't, it's more problematic. There. They're doing? Yeah, 800,000. You hold 1.2 million. So I still want. Well, I don't need 3. I mean, I kind of want 3, even though I don't need 3. I mean, I went to the trouble of building it. Alright. Follow-up question is, where does various byproducts Supercars 41,000 a minute. Violence, but you can be sure that if you could beat the snot out of people for doing the wrong thing, reduce crime rate. It definitely it is a disincentive. Employees can pay the damages to employers 3 times the employees pay. That's potentially brutal. What happens if you're clotheslining a shoplifter and it damages the goods that they're stealing? Imagine if it's like a bottle of wine or something. I mean, why someone in Prague would steal a bottle of wine? Say a case of beer, then, if for Prague or Chechnya, Czech Republic, whatever you called this week. Um, does the employee get charged up to 3 times? They successfully stop them, but it broke the beer in the process. Standing clothesline, the shoplifter would stand and clap. Probably get a beating from 3 bystanders as in the shoplifter would get a beating from the bystanders in turn for wasting precious beer. Now. Defund. Oh, that's not. Yeah. As I say, I didn't want to get stuck into it. Co-worker got a new iPhone. A month later, she fell on stairs. Fell on the phone, which was irreparable. She paid 70% of the price. And your company is a really nice company. I bet elsewhere should pay something like 10%, but the company to the damages. Back to the store. Some chains pay well, but they pay bad and happily steal. Ah, figures. Cheap's case to invest in cameras. Funny. It's, it's so cheap that they don't want to pay for lost merchandise, but they don't want to pay to protect against lost merchandise. Hilarious. Going back to the previous one, the whole it leads to lynching and um you got to look at what world was like before organized police force to see what happens. So you're looking at 19th, 18th century England, London. Where what do they call it? It was catch cry. Where if you see a thief, you cry thief, and then get a beating or not. Or someone cries and then they're not actually stealing and then they get a beating anyway. Yeah, and you get the mafia and you get gangs stealing and then gangs ganging up on other people. And as I say, you got to look back towards those early 19th century, 18th century, what was going on to get an idea. Kind of like how everyone says, "Yay, let's be like the French Revolution," except you got to play the game of and then, because there's a whole lot of details that people gloss over. Sundays are always a little sad, but the day before is a Saturday. I feel like I want to uninstall this mod. I never thought that that would be that irritating, but my god. I feel like these are just engineered to be terrible. Of course, Darcy's all about it. Of course, you're all about it. I'm not getting this thing done at all, am I? Alright. So, the thing that I wanted to... Stuff and junk. That's not the thing I wanted. That's the thing I wanted. I want to turn... every lubricant. What is that, a dad joke mod? Yes, it is a dad joke mod. It's literally called dad jokes. It's on the mod portal. And all it does is just print dad jokes at a set interval. You can actually... yeah, you can set the your initial cooldown, so when you start the game, and then the interval between dad jokes. Sensitive content. Content for adults, including materials some may find offensive from the age of 18. Use this option. Constituent agreement turns around the 18. Yes, I am 18. Older, accept all responsibility for actions. I agree that I'm legally bound to the terms and conditions. Content was created for artistic entertainment purposes. It was not created for the intent to offend. See what happens. Wonder if you can put fractional values into that too, or is it integers only? Ah, is only. Speaking of owls and owl exterminators, yeah, that was changed a long time ago. I think it was because you weren't really around much to notice. But yeah, a certain Alex. I still think an Alex Terminator really needs Dad Joke mod. Insist upon it. Funny thing is, this one build here is enough for like all of the heavy oil requirements. It's ridiculous. Change when you want to need to defend yourself. Yep, pretty much how it went down. uh, oh yeah, Velvec's proud of this one. It'd take like 2 weeks and multiple iterations with ChatGPT to get this one to work. After what? I think I'm after. Apparently they're all deleted. Well, this one will do. Yeah. Yes, this extracts a little bit of gas. Gas or bad gas, not entirely sure. Line up. Gas? Gas? Yes, I'm running out of time. Curiosity got the better of you. Right, so we don't need that anymore. However, need line to subtract. Relnak's bullying me. Dear. Then I just need the heavy to light. I suppose I can add more water up here. Go. Yeah, I'm going to make this a symmetric mirror as well. So what I'll do is I'll flip this to the other side. Take it on to the other side. On. Okay. Got light oil coming up here. That. Now that's not... Oils ain't oils, you know. There's an old reference. Let's clean up the gas that's here. Work. Ready. Produce. 100,000 a minute. I still haven't bought it. Still haven't named name drop JD when messaging the devs to see if they'll give me a key. Trouble is, I kind of don't want to do that because I don't. If it's a game that I enjoy, I don't. If it's a game that I will enjoy, I don't like the idea of just getting it for free. Sense if you are doing a one and done. I've always tried to actually pay for games that I. That looks like a ball ache. Do I want to just do maximum? Like, I only need this one machine does all of the lubricant that I need. Part of me wants to just do the maximum anyway. I feel like I just got my answer. It also occurred to me that that doesn't show up. Sounds don't actually show up in the vault. Because it's the same channel as the music. Because the music is saved into the VOD. You don't hear the sound, so I need to fix that. Don't get games for free unless via Epic Store. So apparently, the bot can be run on Linux, which means I can get like a VM situation going, which means I can probably push it to, like I can rearrange things a little bit and maybe get another separate channel going, audio channel going. Yeah, because there's meant to be five audio inputs. Well, can't run on this. Apparently, it can under Wine. It doesn't have a native Linux distro, but apparently someone has got it working on Wine. I was going to investigate it. So that. Holy crap! That's a lot of CPU. Put your left shoe on the wrong foot. It's on the right. We've had that one already. I was like, I was wondering what I could hear. It's the fan on the new PC, and it's yeah, Pretzel's using 16% CPU. I feel like mining bitcoins or something. God dang. Doing. $17 to 21% CPU. That's a lot for streaming music. I wonder that actually explains a lot. It explains why the other one was struggling so much. I thought it was just because it was a billion years old. A billion years old in computer years. It's not actually a billion years old. That would be silly. Why would you think such a Darthy? Day. New internet? 25 to speed go fiber optic with 1,500 for 24. If only. Dream. Funny actually mentioned fiber optic. I've been looking at fiber optic gear lately again. kind of cool to have fiber optic networking. Probably is I'm fairly certain that that a lot of the transceiver modules are a massive pain in the ass to get going. So this will just suck up all of the heavy oil till it fills up. That worked surprisingly well. That one didn't. Off by one. Or actually make it even faster. As if it didn't need to be any faster. On fiber up to the premises. It's nice to be away from the fake NBN. Such a joke. The fiber to the what is it? Fiber anyway. That's kind of a waste, isn't it? Suppose if I'm gonna have these things. Oh, right. Why? I mean, I can just remove the middle one, but still, why? They're just throwing power at it for the sake of throwing power at it. I could just remove that beacon there. Hello. Build is so fast. Like, it is so ludicrously fast, it doesn't matter. Boop. What I could hear, yeah, is the thing springing into life. Antique. And yeah, and then have the heavy to light, and then light to gas. Probably even go with, like I did before, have the sulfur up here as well. Like, we just stack it in one big monolithic line up. And yeah, as I say, mirror. Just use up all of this vertical space. Up to that one. All that to work with. Up. Innermost one. Okay. Instantly. And I don't need the load balancer anymore. Because it's not pulling all from one thingy. Still need to know the total storage. Legitimately, right? Because to shuffle that over. This is the wrong way round. I forgot to flip it. Okay. That's quite a pleasing build. Actually pull all that down as well. Like right there. Yeah, that actually lines up. Yes. Keep the output there. Oh, keep the input there, I mean, but get rid of the output. Catch it, reverse it. Oh. Stream denied. Dream of having it all line up nicely. Imagine this deletes the gas. I think in a packed elevator is so wrong. That's just stating facts. Police Academy 5. What is that worth? 154,000 a minute. That's already nearly 4 times what's needed. Pi-hole looks interesting for a regular device ad blocking. Go get Pi-hole. It's really good. On IPv6 forever still haven't practically did anywhere, but I remember there's a lot of special address that are tricky to configure right. Which actually makes something good. Deep hole from the outside. Oh, interesting. But it's like a pervert camera. I mean, this thing's barely running too. Now, now it's really going for it. What is that? 300 days. Stupid. Rated Pi-hole, block ads in YouTube ads or regular Apple TV. That is true. I haven't seen how to do that. I don't know how to block those. It seems whatever they do, it bypasses it. Apparently people have been able to block Twitch ads. I say that because I did actually configure this thing to run ads every like 30 minutes. But the idea was you get I force it to run regular ads with the minimum length of 30 seconds. So that's why you kind of barrage with them every 30 minutes. As even though it's even though it's frequent, it's only 30 seconds. You're not hit with 8 30-second ads. Ridiculous. It's too long. Haven't got it to block YouTube ads yet. Does stop a fair bit of telemetry from Windows and devices. And just general cookies and crap. It's really useful. Look at the stats of mine. Finally, bit the bullet and set it up as a DHCP server as well. Okay. It's an arrangement that I don't really want to rely on having it as DHCP as well. Probably need a depending on how it's connected, if it's wireless or not. Oh, actually, it doesn't matter if it's wireless or not. Either way, you'll need a layer 3, I think, switch or a managed switch, and you would just force it onto its own VLAN, which can't see the internet. That would be the way to do it. It's actually funny because I have this thing. It's not that I hate managed switches. It's just most of the time in a home environment, you just don't need. So I have a bit of a thing against managed switches in the home. But that's one of those cases where they definitely are useful. And also, having said that, with things like retro Windows XP machines being a thing now, you do need to isolate them from the internet somehow. Like there's an actual need. I think I'm going to copy the same thing, set it up for heavy to light. I'm probably not going to finish it today because it's now time's up plus 5 minutes already. And yeah, and then the same thing again. That's ain't the idea. Light to gas. That. And yeah, for this one, I would have a dedicated water line coming in. Water line coming into this one as well. I don't know how many of these I need yet, so I need to double check the numbers. That come in time. That build is effectively obsolete. I'm going to combinators. But I'm happier with this build. The other build I was never really like. I sort of parked this and wanted to come back to it. Just wasn't happy with it, and I like this one better. The Colonel Will's Gigabase map at least gave me some ideas. I mean, and taking heavy inspiration from it, but it sort of established a better way of doing it, like a more elegant way of doing it. Nice. So that is that, and then after that, have I do electrolysis there. Stuff and junk. There's excess hydrogen. I need to figure out where and how to dump it. Yeah, I need the sulfuric acid. So in the main save, the reason I need to push for oil is it's the last step towards turning on the ore processing in the Megabase. I can start using it and then start seeing how well it performs. Yeah, and then I can dismantle the intermediate one. Then we can turn on the smelting. Fun. Start bringing it into life. There's actually one other thing that I have been experimenting with. I don't know if I showed this or not. I did it ages ago. While this is loading, a fairly good and configurable Wi-Fi router might be able to make Wi-Fi computer 5 GHz IT separate on 0.4. And buying just yet another router to have more separate. I'd get another one with a just separate to air gap it, because there are times when you do need the 2.4 as well as the 5. So over here, I've been turning rare metals into moon dust. Yeah, I don't remember if I showed this one or not. But it's just matter into moon dust, or thing into matter in rare metals into matter into moon dust. Doesn't need matter stabilizers or anything. Just needs chlorine for the rare metals. And that's one way of dealing with the lack of immersite mines. And it's also something that can be done here. Because I don't know how much of this I can actually... Yeah, there. I don't know how much of this is actually useful. Also, the space would be in here. So yeah, that's another thing to be pondered over. I just don't want to go too... I mean, I'm saying that. The uranium one isn't too bad. It's actually quite nice. Well, all of these aren't too bad. But I don't want to go too... I don't want to go too far down. One of my rules for this map was to not go down the rabbit hole of matter transforming all of the raw materials into everything needed for the final base. Because in theory, you can actually have a base entirely powered by wood. So you're not mining at all. One of the options I did actually consider was to have the first module just be a big matter dump. So pull in all of the resources, turn it into matter. So, you know, your iron, coal, um, stone, and so on, all just gets dumped into matter. And then matter trains take out the matter and then turn them back into the whatever as it's required. Or possibly even in the same build have it's kind of like a giant universal buffer. All of the resources come in, all the resources come out. It's potentially a very busy build though. And as I say, like I eventually concluded that I didn't want to just transmute everything to whatever. You can also just transmute on the patch. So you mine it and then immediately turn it into matter and just ship matter around. But I figured that that was a little bit, you know, a bit too simplified. I want to make it difficult for myself. But anyway, it is now just 5 more minutes times 2. I need to get out of here. So that'll do for today. Might be on tomorrow. We'll see how we do, seeing as I was near Tuesday. Anyway, thank you. And out and all that good stuff. We shall see you next time. Possibly tomorrow, whenever. Don't know.